So we have a bombshell right now. Bernie Sanders is currently going to release a book after the midterms. You may be wondering why that's such a bombshell. It's because it's been a tradition in politics for a long time where Barack Obama did it, Mitt Romney did it, I think John McCain did it, Hillary Clinton did it, even Bernie Sanders did it last time where just a couple of years before you run for office, you release a goofy book no one reads. Even George W. Bush did that when he released that goofy biography about his father that literally no one read. You know? It's just a common thing you do. You release a novel, then you run for office, sort of test the waters, if you will. So Bernie Sanders is more than likely going to run in 2020. That's been... Sorry, I had to go cough for a second. But yeah, Bernie Sanders is currently running, and he has a great chance at winning, of course. He's the most popular politician in America. The only thing that's going to set him back is, and let's be real here, his age. You know, even if, no matter where you are, age can be somewhat of a deterring factor. So what I think Bernie Sanders should do is I think in a just in case, he should actually start building up other populist leftists. And if he's going to run in 2020, as much as I don't like it, he may have to pick like a Dan Quayle type vice president, someone, you know, who is more of the pretty boy while Sanders is more of the ideas man. You know, someone who will go around, give the speeches and look nice, while Sanders will be the serious politician in Washington. You know, something like that. Again, going back to the Dan Quayle example. I'm going to give, if Bernie's going to run in 2020 for a VP, I'd recommend, and I'm not going to say this guy's as stupid as Dan Quayle, mind you. I'm just saying you'd have that similar appeal on the left. Ro Khanna, easily. Ro Khanna, Bernie Sanders, Ro Khanna 2020 would be amazing. I could see that working a million times over. I could, because you got the serious establishment populist ideas with both of them, mind you. And when I say establishment, of course, I mean in terms of Sanders would be the serious, oh, why? Yeah, I'm just in Washington, I'm doing all the hard work, you know, I'm getting legislation passed. And then Khanna would be essentially the one teenage girls would put on their bedroom walls. I don't know, is that something teenage girls do these days, where they put representatives on their bedroom? But yeah. So Sanders has a great chance. However, we need to talk about some of the people who are trying to come up against him. Of course, Warren has been expressing a good chance that she's going to run in 2020, and if that's the case, I'd recommend going for Sanders personally. I think that Warren has done a lot of great things. She helped make the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. She really, however, doesn't have that same experience, because a lot of people forget this. Warren was essentially a nobody. She was like a professor somewhere until she was in Capitalism: A Love Story, one of Michael Moore's documentaries. And then that's how she got popular at that point. But I think Warren would still be a good president. I don't think she'd be a great one, but I think she'd be a pretty good one overall. You know, I think she'd be about a B-grade president. She'd be better than Obama, for sure. She'd be around, probably better than Clinton. I'd say she'd be on around the same level as Carter was. Okay, let's continue. There's also a lot of expression about Joe Biden running. I'm sorry, I don't take Biden seriously as a candidate, personally. Because I remember I was thinking, it's essentially the DNC sitting around going, who's the oldest, blandest white guy we could pick? Joe Biden. Joe Biden's so old, he ran for president in 1988. He's one of the longest, I think he's within the top 100 serving senators, longest serving senators of all time. He was in there since the 70s before he was vice president. Yeah, he's just this very old man. And he's been doing all these, why, you kids? That's my Joe Biden impression now. Why, you kids, you have it easy. You millennials, you have it. Back in my day, we worked with segregationists. I'm not kidding, he actually said that during the whole Roy Moore thing. I'm not making that up. And you kid, you have it easy with all your newfangled whoozy what's-its. That's Joe Biden at this point. He's just sort of going on these old people rants as a presidential campaign. Joe Biden, get off my lawn. Other names have been floating around have been, of course, both Gillibrand and Harris have been floating around, and Kirsten Gillibrand, I will actually give credit. She recently said she'd stop taking corporate PAC money. I will give her credit where credit is due. That is amazing of her to do. I'm still skeptical of her, mind you. I think she'd be an okay president overall. Harris, I think, is a little too corporatist for my liking, but again, I could see her. These are essentially the candidates that I feel have the best shot. I think Sanders has a great chance of winning. Warren, if Sanders doesn't run, she has about a good chance. If Sanders does run, I don't see it, personally. Biden has a great shot in the primary, but basically no chance in the general. He has enough ties to maybe make it through the primary, and even then I'm doubting. Gillibrand and Harris, I can kind of see maybe working, but even that's a maybe. And some have been floating around Tim Kaine. Oh God, Tim Kaine. Just, I'm Tim Kaine. I exist. Did you know that? I have no policies because I'm Tim Kaine. I can speak Spanish. Did I mention I'm Tim Kaine yet? That's what I think of when I think of Tim Kaine, and that's probably nothing like Tim Kaine in real life, but I don't very much care for Tim Kaine, if you cannot tell. He was Hillary Clinton's VP, or running mate, not even VP. That's like running Walter Mond. I didn't even realize that when I started saying it. I swear. At least Carter served a term, by the way. Hillary Clinton did not. But yeah, these remind me of the people who would be like, these people would totally fall for something like, oh, Walter Mondale could defeat Reagan back in '84. If you genuinely think Tim Kaine has a snowball's chance in hell. I'm sorry, but if you think that, you're the type of gullible person who looked at it and said, Walter Mondale will totally win in 1984, guys. I promise. And then what happened? You know what happened. Oh, and then I guess there's Oprah. But we don't mention the Oprah campaign. In my vague hope that if I ignore it, it will eventually go away. And replaced with Mark Zuckerberg's excellent president. Yeah, at least Zuckerberg I'll be able to kind of get joy out of in the primary. Oprah, no. I'm sorry, I would not. But that's essentially the breakdown of 2020 that I've seen so far. I'm Ephrom, and good night.